G'day subscribers. Today we're going to talk about the Nasco Electrical Emergency Kit. You're with Jules Knight and Supervisor Louis on Jive Talking Garage. So one of our members has reached out recently and asked about the electrical emergency kit. Now I've gone into the salesman's reference and I'll just put Louis down, and at sheet number 25 it actually talks about this actual kit. So it was a tin box and you'd get several electrical components in there, and that was to help you out if you got stuck by the side of the road and your spark plug failed or a lead failed or your condenser was broken or whatever the case. Now, there was different kits depending upon what electrical system you had in the car, because don't forget, with the early FJs and the 48215s, there was Delco Remy or Guide, or FJ you'd have Bosch, and then there was Lucas after that. So there was quite a few of the different components for the electrical parts of the early Holden. Now on here we've got Delco Remy, the lamps are Guide, Delco Remy, the lamps are Lucas, then Bosch, the lamps are Guide, Bosch, the lamps are Lucas, Bosch, the lamps are Bosch. So there's all sorts of things, and like it's saying here, the sales features: the following fast-moving parts individually cartoned are included: one distributor cap, one distributor rotor, one distributor condenser, two spark plugs, one set of distributor points, one headlamp globe, one tail lamp globe, and 5 fuses. So I had a new old stock one that was for 48215, not an FJ, and I kept it in my FJ just as a nice showpiece, and I swapped out the distributor cap and stuff like that for an FJ for Bosch, so it was practical for me. But needless to say, Tony Manganaro, the Godfather, came over and helped me with my Mustang GT one day, and he said to me, "I'm only here because it's you, I don't work on Fords." So I said, "Thank you, Tony." Anyway, so we engine craned the Windsor 289 out, and he showed me how to remove the bush at the back of the block and a few things like that. So you learn a lot from the old timers. But one of my gifts to him was one of these boxes. Now, they would have a yellow lid with the Nasco on it and all the other bits saying electrical emergency kit and Holden owners, and then say what it was and so on. But then, there would be contents in there. And so what I was able to do is, like any restorer, if you can't buy something that is the whole kit and caboodle, well then you've got to get what you can get and then add to it to fix it up. So I was able to get a third box. And this one's not great, but if you got something, you can do something with it. If you've got nothing, you've got nothing. Now, be that as it may, I've assembled in here a lot of things. I've, new old stock, distributor cap. I've got Holden points. Now I've also got, besides my fuses and whatever else, I've got this little piece, and it's got the Holden number on there. And I'll just give you a tip in a moment. I'll give you 2 tips. So that's your condenser. Now if I just put this up there, you'll see the part number being 740, and then whatever the numbers are that come after it. If you're at a swap meet and you pick up something that's got 740 on it, there is a pretty good probability that it's an FX or 48215 or FJ part. 740 was the prefix primarily for most of these parts, And so as a rule of thumb, if I see 740 in an old box, and even if the seller doesn't know what it is, I'm quite happy to take a punt that it actually is for my type of car. So be that as it may, that's pretty good. Now, in talking to Mark Costello, my RACQ mate from when we were school friends and football buddies, he was saying to me, if you've got a condenser, or when he would attend a patrol, if he had a motorist that had a failed condenser and they just needed to get home, well, he said what you could do is you could squish the condenser with pliers or multi-grips or whatever the tools you had, and then that was pretty good to get you home. So, Mark, thanks for that little tip. So I've got condenser. What have I got in here? Oh, I've got some little bulbs by the look of it. Oh no, these are springs and buttons. By golly, I could have used them 4 weeks ago, or Australia Day, I should really say, when I was doing work on my FJ steering column. But I'll put those aside. Rotor button. Do 4 globes. And of course, a new old stock. Oh, sorry, not new old stock. They are new old stock. These spark plugs are French, but they are suited for the grey motor. And the Brains Trust were telling me that the P on it, it's actually got a P somewhere. These ones are 520 CS made in France. 520 CS made in France. And Emile was saying that, I'm pretty sure he said the P on it, when you looked it up, meant that the probe was just a little longer than ordinary. So, you know, I like to listen to all of those types of things when people make a comment to me, particularly when they know more about something than I do. More globes. And the other thing that I've picked up, and I just threw in here, because sometimes you just need stuff to get you out of trouble. Now, I don't normally look in this box, but I remember probably about 10 years ago, before I actually bought my FJ, getting this little, it's like a multi-grip. What are they calling it? They're calling it a handy grip. Handy grip looks very 1950s-ish, but you can see it's never been actually used. And I thought, well, one day, knowing my luck, I'll be at the side of the road and I actually need something, and whatever tools I have on board may not be helping me out, and you never know. So I keep stuff just in case, which might make Mrs. Jive talking and my kids laugh at silly old daddy, but gets me out of trouble. So that gives you an idea about this wonderful little accessory, the Nasco emergency kit. Now, I bought my original one, 1989, at the Bow Desert Swap Meet. I paid about $80 for it. Empty tins now are about 150 if you can get them. And this tin is not in good condition, as you can see. However, I'm just happy to have it. So there you go, folks. The electrical emergency kit for Nasco for your Holden. Don't forget, Jive Talking Garage. Share, like and subscribe. But more importantly, enjoy your Holden.